Well, let's take a look. Now that we've heard what you did and what helped, let me raise the question of what didn't you do? What do you wish you had tried or done in college that you didn't do? And that could range from taking weekends to get away and go to the neighboring state just to see what's there. In my class, for an example.
That sounds pretty exciting.
Yeah. I tell my students, now how many of you have been to Havasupai Canyon? Used to, almost everyone. Now, I don't get more than 10 or 20%. And of course, I go ahead and tell them, well, you know that when you turn 25, you lose your driver's license if you haven't been to your Arizona driver's license, if you haven't been to Havasupai Canyon. No, they don't believe that either. But what did you not do that you wish you had done? Les?
Hell, I thought about that question when I saw it the first time, and I had an incredible experience at NAU, and so I couldn't come up with anything I felt like I missed. I mean, I had great instructors, great faculty. I found my passion, my career. You know, I was part of the ROTC program, so I got to fly right here to Flagstaff Airport. And, we went to the Grand Canyon on motorcycles. I met my wife. Wow. There's not a thing I can think of that I didn't do.
Now, some of the things you mentioned weren't related just to curriculum, but you're talking about life experiences.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Okay.
That's a good point.
Gordon, what about you?
Get out there. There's a lot. I used to tell people about Flagstaff. You know, you spend 4, 5, 6 years there getting your degree, and then you spend the next 30 trying to figure out a way to get back here, because it's just such a great place to be. So really take advantage of that. But I took it a different direction, and the advice I would have is get an internship. Really, really important. I didn't get one and paid for it a little bit. It's a big world out there. There's a lot of jobs, but there's a lot more of you than there are jobs. So make yourself as valuable as possible. The other thing that I thought of was I would have taken some business classes, because in communication you're going to pursue that job that you want, that one that you love, morning DJ, news photographer, whatever it is. You're going to ride that for some fun years and have great experience, but that camera gets heavier, that low pay starts to get meager when you start having kids or wanting a new car or wanting to repair the old one. And then you look to move up in your organization, and you're going to need those other skills. So this is your primary skill set, but build those ancillary skills. And I had a boss who literally tore spreadsheets out of my hands because I was staring at them, breaking a sweat, looking like a monkey trying to solve a math problem, and he just said, "I'll do your budget." Because I was completely lost.
Thanks. Liz, what would you recommend?
Well, you know, I mentioned going to class more. I played basketball. I came to NAU on a scholarship and was on the 5-year program. And for the first 4 years, the coach wouldn't let me ski. So I'm going to say I wish I skied more. That's it.
Yeah.
I would say it seems much more common now with today's college students. It wasn't common when I was going to school, but traveling abroad and studying abroad. If you have the opportunity to do that, I would do that. We're in a global world, and if you can expand your horizons by doing that, and if it's at all possible for you to do, I would do it. I would do more than one internship if I could, and I agree internships are much more important even now than they were when we were in school, Gordon, and I really appreciate, we try to make lots of internships available in our agency, and those that are forward about it and aggressive and have a great attitude and want to learn, get the internships. They don't just come your way, you've got to go seek them, but do that. And if you could do one every year while you're in school, I'd do it. We even have at times high school students that are coming in for internships, and we'll honor that if it's somebody that really shows some enthusiasm for it. So,
and
yes.
If I could do a quick commercial, our corporation has a wonderful internship program. I'd encourage you to go to MGM Careers or MGMResortsCollegePrograms.com or search it. You'll find it. We have an internship program. We also have a management associate program, which is for grads. Recent grads. If you graduated with 18 months, you can apply. And in the MAP program, we give you a job, we train you, And then if you successfully complete it, we give you an assistant manager or equivalent job, so you're now a part of the company.
Is there an age limit?
Yeah, if you can prove yeah, show them your diploma and you're good. And these things happen earlier than you think. Our deadline for next summer's internships and MAP class is December 1st. So I don't know when you select yours, but do
yeah, it would be
sooner than you think.
In the winter, probably, yeah, for the summer.
If you wait to look for an internship until next February, they're all going to be gone.
And I would say, too, start planning ahead for your senior year, your junior year, when you're a freshman and a sophomore. Planning ahead as far as lining up the classes, because I'm not going to say anything bad about my dean, but we don't get to teach all the classes we want to every semester. We've got limited resources. So we may teach a class in the fall, but not able to teach it in the spring, or vice versa. You got to be aware of that and take those classes in the sequence, the proper sequence, and plan ahead, because you can't take the class just any time you want to. At least not any longer can we do that. So you have to plan ahead. Well,
And look in unusual places.
oh yes.
I work for a casino hospitality corporation, and you're thinking to yourself, I don't want to be a card dealer or a cocktail waitress. We have over 100 different job categories, many of them in communications. Our marketing department is exploding. We are on the cutting edge of a lot of what you all are working on, because database marketing, we are bringing in millions of customers every year. How do we reach them? You guys know how to do that. So don't dismiss a corporation just because of their primary industry, because they all need communications people.
Bo, I'm going to start with you on this next one, because you kind of intimated that your company had to adapt. Things have changed in the last 10 years, 15 years, well, maybe even the last 3 or 4 years. Some of this wasn't even taught to you in school. How do you adapt? How do you keep learning in this environment? What changes has at least your industry experienced? And then, did you learn anything in college that helped you along those ways, even though we didn't have classes when you were in school on Twitter and
Yeah, that's a long
Facebook?
question. I went to school with a typewriter. Maybe all of us did, I don't know, but I went to school with a typewriter. So my philosophy in life and in business has always been, if you don't like change, you're going to like irrelevance even less. And I think that is very, very apropos to our business, because there's change in all business, but it is hyper change in the communications business. And, database marketing, big data, analytics, these are things we weren't learning in college. And I think it just goes to prove that you have to continually be a student in your career. Learn and absorb what's new and talk to young people and, understand. I mean, again, it's a learned language. The digital world is learned to me. I'm pretty adept at it, but I have a lot to learn from you. And most of our workforce is not a whole lot older than most of you in this room now, because they really understand what it takes to succeed in today's communications world. So I don't know if I answered the question properly, but it's continue to be a student, always.
Liz, for you in news, what changed or what did you have to deal with that you didn't learn in school? And also, did school give you any tools for learning that? And then also, as you transitioned into public information and public relations?
Well, I think the main thing is having passion for what you do, and at the heart of pretty much all of our jobs, I think we might agree storytelling and writing is very important. And I feel I learned that at NAU and applied it in both positions. Transitioning from broadcasting to public relations was a challenge, I thought, because I didn't take a single PR class at NAU, but really it was about having the ability to tell a story, to identify a good story, and be able to be concise and effective with amplifying that story. And I think it comes a lot with curiosity. I think curiosity is very important. And if you're passionate about what you do, you're going to find yourself Googling things, and this leads to this link, and learning more about social media just because you're curious about it, because you're passionate about what you do. So I think those two things lead to development and education all along your career.
Les, I'm going to skip to you, and how would you answer that question as to what all has changed, and how do you deal with change?
I want to, before I answer that,
Oh, okay.
I want to just emphasize 2 points. They talked about taking business classes, and I felt really fortunate because my advisor actually combined, in kind of formulating my degree, combined business classes with communications classes. And so later on, it proved invaluable because I understood some of that stuff, but not all of it. Bo's point about continuous learning. You never stop learning because you can't stay on the leading edge if you're not learning and teaching yourself, and it's that drive and passion that you have to go after it. I learn a lot from the young people that are around me. You know, a successful leader surrounds himself or herself with people who are better and smarter than they are. And certainly that's true in certain disciplines. So to the panel's point of you folks are the real experts in the IT age, they're right. So everything that I know about tweeting and Pinterest and Snapchat and all the evolving technologies are because of the young airmen, employees who I work with. And so you've got to stay on it.
Gordon, how would you answer that? What changed in your industry other than just changing professions, but what all has changed that you've had to deal with? And also, did we give you any tools here at NAU to deal with that?
Well, yeah, and I think the tools that you inspired, confidence, curiosity, creativity. By going out there and you know, I remember the first time I lugged out all of that equipment. In fact, my wife and I passed some young lady who still was carrying 60 pounds worth of gear and still had a smile on her face as we walked into the building today. But know that you can do it. It's not that hard. If it were brain surgery, I certainly wouldn't have done it my entire career. But you go out and try it. You know, where do we start? I don't know, but just start, because the people that are in the corners wringing their hands, worrying we're not going to be able to get this done, are the ones that are not going to get it done. Just go and do it. So confidence, creativity, and what was the other one? Curiosity. Be curious. Yep. Always learn. I quit a job once. I handed in my notice, and the guy said, "Why are you quitting?" And I said, "I came here to learn. Everybody in the department is turning to me to lead them. And so this is not what I signed up for." And his question literally, this is a very, very successful businessman where I work, he said, "Well, why do you want to learn more? Why don't you just take what you know now and make some money with it?" And I was speechless. I didn't know what to say.
I think curiosity is one of the things that concerns me about my students most. I sure like to see that in them because I think it's so important for the future, for their future, to be curious, to ask questions, to want to know how that works. Yeah, I think curiosity is crucial.